What's up? Welcome to CDLA. In this video, I'll be talking about my personal experience at LBAT Climbing School. Although I made it through, it was a horrible experience for me, and I'll be telling you why. LBAT stands for American Line Builders Apprenticeship Training. Here's a quick rundown leading up to climbing school. I went to the LBAT website, filled out for the apprenticeship, got invited to take an aptitude test, took the aptitude test, got invited for an interview. After the interview, I got accepted into the apprenticeship program, worked for a couple months, and now I have to go to climbing school. The whole process from applying to being accepted to the apprenticeship took 10 months, which the average is about a year, give or take. Do not get this climb school confused with something you do before you go to an apprenticeship or get accepted into apprenticeship. You don't pay for this climb school. This is something that's provided to you once you're accepted into the apprenticeship. People always ask about going to school. Going to school is something different. You pay for that schooling to get some credentials and learn how to climb before you join the apprenticeship. But this climb school, again, is something totally different. It's once you're accepted into the apprenticeship, then they send you to climb school and you don't need to pay. Now, once you're accepted into the apprenticeship program, you begin working for about 2 or 3 months before they send you to climb school. During these 3 months of working, I began speaking with other apprentices who had already been to climb school, and they were giving me advice that no matter how many climbs I miss, keep climbing, don't quit. I'll be able to make them up on Friday. Okay, don't quit. I got it. Especially since I've never climbed a pole, never put on climbing gear. I have zero experience with this. So I was under the impression that the only way that you don't make it is if you quit. But little do I know, every day you can get eliminated. I was excited to go to climb school. I thought it was just a school you go to learn how to climb poles and learn some electrical theory. But I found out something different. Every day you can get eliminated. This was more like a boot camp. So this boot camp, aka climb school, was 15 days long. It's split up into 3 weeks. You go Monday through Friday, and you can go home on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. We stayed on campus. We had dorm rooms. As far as the school goes, we had to keep a 75% grade point average throughout the entire length of the school. We had to do 5 qualifying climbs. We had to take knots tests, learning how to tie knots with a rope. We had to learn hand signal. Me as a person with zero experience, I did not have time to think in this place. My anxiety was so high, but on the first day of climbing, we went to poles that were about 6 feet high. They weren't tall at all. And so on these poles, we were learning how to do right working position, left working position, how to climb up and down on them. So the carryover to the bigger pole, to me, wasn't that much of a carryover because I'm not really doing much climbing. So after a couple day clinics of learning how to do things on this 6-foot pole, they take us to the tall poles, like the original size poles, and they say to the top, and all these other guys, they're flying up. Not all of them, but majority of them are flying up the pole. I'm the oldest guy there. I'm climbing with 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 30-year-olds, but I'm the oldest one there. I have no experience. I'm climbing up the pole, and I feel the pole shaking, which I didn't expect. I thought this pole was solidified in the ground and wouldn't move at all. So I feel it shaking. I'm moving. All the other guys are already up to the top and on their way back down. And I'm still going up. And they tell these guys to rotate to the second position. And I'm still going up. They say to the top. These guys are going to the top. And they're on their way back down. I'm just now probably made it to the top of the pole. Now I got to come down the pole. These guys rotate to the third position. They go up, they come down, they rotate to the fourth position. Now I'm just completing my first climb, and they done 4 climbs already. So now I'm behind 3 climbs. And now I'm hearing that if I can't make these climbs up, I'll be eliminated. See, I didn't have this mindset going in. I thought that the only way I'll be eliminated is if I quit. I didn't know I'd be eliminated if I have less than a 75% grade point average. I mean, that makes sense, but I didn't know I was going to have a grade point average in the first place. So my anxiety was so high. I was studying all night. I would study from like 4 o'clock in the morning till it's time to take a test at 7 o'clock. I'll go through school that whole day, get done at 5 o'clock, go eat, call my family quickly, and study from that time till about midnight, wake up at 4 in the morning and do it again. Like, my anxiety was so high, and I could see it on other people as well. Some people, they had experience in this field, so they didn't have to worry as much. They already knew the electrical things. They already knew how to climb. There was a lot of things they knew that I had no idea, and it was stressful. On top of that, you had chores you had to do every day. You had to have your dorm rooms clean. It had to look like no one was living in there. The bed had to be made, and everything you own needed to be in the locker. When they opened that door, it needed to look like no one was in there. People had chores like clean the bathrooms, clean the hallway, empty the trash around the campus. And if that stuff wasn't done, your instructors would take your class and make them climb like crazy. That was the punishment for not getting things done. One time, people left water bottles at the computer lab when they were told not to leave trash in there. And they called us back in there. Water bottles was on there, and they made us climb as a punishment. It was stressful. Like, I was sore. I lost weight. To be honest with you, I wasn't sure I was going to make it once I started going into the program, but I knew not to quit. I just wasn't sure if I was going to make it because we had to do qualifying climbs. One qualifying climb was called a hurt man rescue. It's if somebody, gets hurt on the pole and you have to go up and rescue them. We had to do that within 4 minutes, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I made it, but I wasn't sure at that moment. On this hurt man rescue qualifying climb, you had to say, call 911. Then you had to put on all your gear, and then you had to take your buck strap, put it around the pole, climb all the way to the top, tie a rope around the dummy, cut the dummy away from the pole, let him down the pole without him bumping up against the pole. It sounds very simple, but it was challenging for someone like me who has zero experience. My advice is, if you're an older guy and you're applying for this apprenticeship, make sure you get yourself in shape, especially if you don't have any experience at all. There's more details I want to give out about my experience at LBAT, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to end it right there. Remember, you are the captain of your ship.